At the heart of spiritual and philosophical traditions lies the notion that the human body is a microcosm of the universe, a living symbol of the connection between the earthly and the divine. When you sit in alignment, feet grounded, spine upright, breath flowing, you're not just engaging in posture correction. You're turning yourself into a conduit, a channel for the flow of prana, cha, or the life force that spiritual texts have described for millennia. This isn't metaphorical, it's experiential. The posture creates an open channel for energy to rise from the earth's grounding force to the cosmos's infinite expanse. Because sitting is not just posture, it is presence. The Egyptians, obsessed with eternity, sculpted their gods and pharaohs in seated forms, spines straight, gazes fixed, bodies still but alive with an energy that radiated into eternity. To them, sitting wasn't passive. It was a throne of alignment between the earthly and the divine. The Taoist sages of ancient China spoke of sitting as a way to dissolve into the flow of the Tao, the ineffable source of all things. They would sit by rivers, mountains, and in empty rooms, believing that by mirroring the stillness of nature, they could absorb its quiet wisdom. Do nothing, and nothing is left undone, they taught, implying that in the act of sitting, one could align with the effortless unfolding of the universe. In the Himalayan texts, it is said that when a yogi sits with full awareness, the earth itself responds. The soil beneath them softens. The winds carry their breath. This isn't a poetic metaphor. It is the belief that true stillness sends ripples through existence, harmonizing the seen and unseen. To sit, they claimed, was to vibrate in tune with creation. Modernity mocks such ideas. It reduces sitting to functionality, a way to type emails or scroll screens. But even the mundane carries echoes of the mystical. Sit with awareness, and a desk becomes a temple. Sit without it, and a mountaintop is just a rock. In yogic philosophy, the spine is revered as the axis mundi, the world axis, connecting the physical and the divine. Sitting upright allows the dormant energy, known as Kundalini, to flow upward along the spinal column, harmonizing the chakras, or energy centers. This alignment is not just symbolic. Modern neuroscience suggests that posture influences brain function, impacting clarity and decision-making. Existentialist Jean-Paul Sartre often described sitting as an act of confronting one's own existence. We sit not to escape, but to reflect. Sitting as a practice transcends its historical and cultural contexts. Yet modern mindfulness practitioners often overlook the nuances of sitting itself, focusing solely on meditation. Yet sitting is where awareness begins. By refining how we sit, whether for a meeting, while reading, or in quiet reflection, we imbue ordinary moments with depth. Science offers its perspective, too. Modern studies show that how we sit affects our mental and emotional states. An upright posture enhances focus, reduces stress, and even alters hormonal balances, increasing serotonin and lowering cortisol. Neuroscientists suggest that the alignment of the spine can influence the cerebrospinal fluid flow, which in turn impacts brain function. Even here, we see a resonance with ancient teachings. The body's posture is not just physical, but affects the mind's ability to process and perceive. Breathing is inseparable from the act of sitting. Yoga mystics and martial artists alike emphasize that an aligned posture allows the diaphragm to expand fully, drawing in not just air, but life force. Modern respiratory science agrees. Diaphragmatic breathing increases oxygenation and activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which reduces stress. But beyond physiology lies a deeper mystery. In Tibetan teachings, sitting and breathing in alignment are said to create a magnet for cosmic energy. As you inhale, imagine pulling subtle energies from the universe into your spine. As you exhale, envision these energies circulating through your body, cleansing and revitalizing. This practice turns sitting into a tool for manifestation. Each breath amplifies your intent, not as a column of vertebrae, but as a shimmering pillar of light. In higher states of consciousness, the spine transforms into a pathway for subtle energies. Some call it the Kundalini current, others the tree of life. Each vertebra becomes a gateway, a chamber through which energy ascends and descends, spiraling like a double helix. These are the real visions people have reported from all over the world. In these elevated states, sitting upright mirrors the posture of the cosmos itself. The seated practitioner becomes an axis, a stabilizing point in the swirling dance of creation. To sit is to invite the heavens and the earth to meet within your own body, with the spine as the sacred mediator. To sit is not only to be still, but to create. Writers, artists, and thinkers have long understood the power of sitting. Franz Kafka describes sitting in his room and letting the world unfold before him. You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen, he wrote. The world will freely offer itself to you. This reflects the idea that stillness is generative, a womb for ideas, visions, and transformations. Sitting also invokes the elements. The earth supports your body. The air circulates with your breath. Fire sparks in your mind as thoughts and insights. Water flows through your veins, sustaining life. The act of sitting brings these elements into balance. So choose a space where the energy feels supportive. A quiet corner, beneath a tree, or even a simple chair in your room. Ensure your sitting surface connects you to the earth. Sit upright but relaxed. Imagine your spine as a beam of light extending infinitely above and below you. Feel the weight of your body evenly distributed. Pay attention to the points of contact. Your feet on the floor, your hips on the seat, your hands resting. Each touch point is an anchor to the present moment. As you sit, visualize yourself as a cosmic pillar, drawing energy from the earth and heavens. With each breath, feel this energy circulating, harmonizing your being. Sitting is an act of dimensional alignment. The physical body connects with the ground, drawing stability and grounding energies from the earth. The spine rises upward, aspiring toward the heavens. In this way, sitting harmonizes the vertical, spiritual aspirations and horizontal, earthly existence, planes of being. In Japan, the act of sitting, seiza, on one's knees was more than etiquette. It was a form of discipline, humility, and mindfulness. Samurai sat in readiness, aware of every breath and movement. Similarly, in medieval Europe, monks sat in cloisters for hours, engaging in silent prayer or contemplation. Their stillness was not passive, but charged with the energy of devotion. The lotus position, Padmasana, iconic in Indian and Buddhist traditions, is far more than a posture. It is a spiritual geometry. By crossing the legs and aligning the spine, the practitioner becomes a human mandala. This posture is said to stabilize the mind, allowing energy to flow freely along the spine. The seated figure resembles a blooming lotus, rooted in the earth but aspiring to the heavens. This style of sitting reflects spiritual ascent and the pursuit of inner stillness. To sit is to anchor the soul in the vastness of being. It is to cease wandering without, and instead arrive within. When one sits, truly sits, the boundaries between the sitter and the world dissolve. The spine becomes a pillar connecting earth to sky, the breath a tide that merges the infinite with the finite. For in sitting, you discover that stillness is not emptiness, but fullness. The mind, like a restless bird, may flutter and call, but in the stillness of sitting, it comes to rest, revealing the boundless sky of awareness.